We often imagine wealth as a distant prize, a treasure chest waiting at the end of a long, winding road. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? Here's a secret that's rarely spoken. Wealth isn't just a number in your bank account. It's a mindset, a discipline, and above all, a philosophy about life itself. While 97% of people feel trapped in a cycle of scarcity and struggle, a small 3% have unlocked a profound truth. They understand that financial freedom isn't about how much you make, but how you think, act, and grow every single day. The difference between these two groups isn't luck. It's not a fancy education or powerful connections. It's a way of seeing the world, a way of understanding your own worth, your own power, and the invisible forces that shape your financial destiny. Today, I want to take you beyond the surface. We're not just going to talk about how to make money. We're going to explore how to think like the wealthy, so your actions naturally follow and your results change forever. Because, here's the thing, poverty begins in the mind long before it ever shows up in your wallet. And wealth begins the moment you decide to step off the beaten path and rewrite the story you've been telling yourself about money. Are you ready to discover why the masses stay broke and how you can join the few who break free? Then listen closely, because this might just be the most important conversation you'll ever have. The first law: honor your future self. Let me share something simple but incredibly powerful. If you ever want to build real wealth, not just bigger bills and a fancier lifestyle, you have to pay yourself first. This is the foundational law. It means before you pay your landlord, the grocer, the taxman, or even the light bill, you must first honor your future self. I know what you might be thinking, but I don't make enough. I've been there, but let me tell you, it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and, more importantly, what you do with what you keep. You see, wealth doesn't respond to the size of your income. It responds to the strength of your discipline. Let's imagine you get a paycheck. It's not $1 million, maybe it's just $500 for the week. Most people immediately start subtracting. Rent, groceries, gas, weekend plans. By the time they're done, they think, well, maybe I'll save next month. The wealthy, however, flip that equation on its head. They subtract their future first. They take 10%, maybe 15%, and tuck it away into savings, investments, or a tangible asset. Only then do they let the rest go to work paying for life's immediate needs. I learned this lesson when I was broke, sitting at a small table with just a few dollars and a mountain of bills. A mentor told me, don't wait to have more to start. Start with what you have and you'll have more. So I began with just $1 out of every $10. It seemed small, almost silly, but that tiny habit taught me a profound lesson in ownership. I stopped being a servant to my money and started becoming its master. You have to tell your money where to go instead of asking where it went. And let's be clear, paying yourself first isn't selfish, it's responsible. It's not about hoarding money, it's about planting it. Every dollar you save or invest is a worker on your team. The question is, are you sending those workers out into the world to bring back a return? Or are you spending them all on temporary pleasures and wondering why nothing ever changes? The day you decide that your future is worth more than an extra coffee or a new gadget is the day you step into the world of the 3%. Not because you suddenly earn more, but because you finally think better. The currency of choice, freedom or relief. There's a hard truth many people don't want to face. Most people spend money emotionally. They buy what feels good in the moment. A fancy coffee, the latest gadget, a fun night out with friends, these purchases provide a quick fix, a momentary relief from stress or boredom. But that relief is fleeting. Once the money is gone, so is the comfort. This is why so many stay stuck. perpetually chasing their next temporary high with dollars that could have been building something permanent. The 97% often live paycheck to paycheck because their spending is guided by feelings, not foresight. Contrast that with the mindset of the 3%. These folks don't just spend, they invest. And investing isn't always about the stock market or complicated financial jargon. It's about intention. It's about seeing every dollar as a soldier marching toward a specific goal, whether that's retirement, your children's education, or complete financial freedom. It's about buying freedom, not just relief. This fundamental difference in thinking is what separates the broke from the wealthy. When someone in the 3% passes on a daily fancy coffee, it's not because they don't want one. It's because they've already asked themselves a powerful question. Will this purchase bring me closer to or farther from my goals? I remember being early in my career when money was tight, and the temptation to spend on things that offered immediate gratification was immense. But I saw men and women around me who didn't necessarily make more, yet they had a different habit. They paused before every purchase. They asked themselves if what they were about to buy would serve their future or just satisfy a fleeting emotional urge. And you know what? That simple habit paid off handsomely. They had money saved, investments growing, and a world of options that I didn't. Spending intentionally means you know your priorities, and you refuse to let fleeting feelings dictate your financial decisions. It's about discipline, vision, and control. The 3% understand that wealth is built not just on what you earn, but on what you do with it. Every dollar you spend either builds your freedom or someone else's. It's as simple and as profound as that. If you want to join the 3%, start today by shifting how you think about your money. Don't spend just because you feel like it. Spend because you've decided where your money's loyalty lies. The moment you do that, you start building a legacy, not just a lifestyle. And that is the difference between being broke and being free. The power of knowing. You can't manage what you don't measure. One of the biggest reasons people stay broke isn't a lack of income. It's a lack of awareness. Their money slips through their fingers like water, unnoticed and unchecked. The 97% often live in a financial fog. They guess, they hope, and they cross their fingers. But wealth isn't built on guesswork. It's built on relentless clarity. I've met countless people who were deeply frustrated with their financial situation, but refused to track a single cent. They'd say things like, "I don't want to obsess over money," or "I'll just figure it out eventually." The truth is, you can't manage what you don't measure. It's like trying to steer a ship without a compass. You might think you're heading in the right direction, but without clear data, you're just drifting at the mercy of the currents. The 3% know exactly where every dollar is going, not because they want to micromanage their lives into oblivion, but because clarity gives them power. It allows them to see where they're bleeding money, and where they can redirect those funds to save or invest more. Tracking isn't about fear or deprivation, it's about empowerment. It's about creating a habit of awareness. When I first began to get serious about my finances, I started a simple practice, a financial journal. Every week, I wrote down what I earned, what I spent, what I saved, and what I invested. Sometimes it was uncomfortable. I saw habits that weren't serving me, money flowing to things I didn't even remember buying. But this clear picture was the first step to course correction. And here's the magic. What gets tracked gets transformed. Once you start logging your financial flow, you will naturally begin to make better decisions. You'll notice patterns, like how much eating out is really costing you, or the impact of impulsive online shopping. Awareness alone creates the desire to improve. Then, with clear numbers in front of you, you can set realistic goals and hold yourself accountable. Don't wait until you feel ready or until you have a big income. Start today with whatever you have. Use a notebook, a spreadsheet, or a budgeting app, whatever works for you. The key is consistency. Track your money weekly, review it honestly, and adjust your course. Over time, this habit will become the unshakable foundation of your financial life. If you want to move from the 97% to the 3%, get ruthless with clarity. Know where every dollar goes, and you'll finally be able to direct where your future lies. This is the starting point of real financial freedom. From effort to value, the real currency of success, there's a common misconception that working harder and longer hours will automatically lead to greater wealth. Many in the 97% fall into this trap, believing that sheer effort is the key to financial freedom. But the truth is, effort alone is often the slowest and most grueling path to success. What really moves the needle is increasing your value, not just your hours. I remember early in my career, I worked long, hard hours, punching the clock and thinking that if I just put in more time, the money would eventually follow. But then I had a crucial realization. People don't pay for hours, they pay for value. If you spend 10 hours doing a task that anyone can do, you'll be compensated accordingly. But if you spend those same 10 hours delivering something unique, solving a difficult problem, or creating something people desperately want, something they can't get anywhere else, your compensation will reflect that. The wealthy understand this principle deeply. They don't just work hard, they invest in themselves by developing skills that command higher returns. It's about sharpening your communication skills so you can persuade and inspire. It's about learning leadership so you can guide others toward shared goals. It's about mastering sales so you can create your own opportunities. It's about gaining financial literacy so your money starts working for you, instead of you always working for it. These are skills that compound over time, much like money in a great investment. Instead of chasing more hours, focus on becoming more valuable. This means embracing continuous learning, stepping outside your comfort zone, and taking on challenges that stretch your abilities. When you develop these high-value skills, you don't just earn more money. You open doors to opportunities that were previously invisible. Remember, money follows value. If you can solve a bigger problem or create a greater impact, the rewards will naturally follow. So, stop counting the hours. Instead, ask yourself, what skill can I develop today that will make me indispensable tomorrow? What value can I add that others overlook? When you shift your mindset from effort to value, you align yourself with the thinking of the 3%. And that's when wealth truly begins to flow. The autopilot principle, building systems for success in building wealth, is rarely about a single, dramatic change or a heroic act of willpower. More often, it's about doing ordinary things extraordinarily well and consistently over time. The difference between the 97% who struggle and the 3% who build lasting wealth often comes down to simple, automatic systems that keep money working for them, even when their motivation wavers. I've seen it countless times. People start with the best intentions to save or invest. But life happens. Bills pile up, distractions arise, and that initial resolve fades. The 3% understand this human tendency and don't leave their financial future to chance or sheer discipline. Instead, they build systems that remove the guesswork and the need for constant decision-making. One of the most powerful tools for this is automation. Set up automatic transfers so that a portion of your income goes directly into savings or investment accounts the moment you get paid before you even see it. This is the essence of paying yourself first without having to think about it every month. It's like planting seeds in a garden on a regular schedule. You don't have to deliberate over each seed. You just trust the system water it, and watch it grow over time. Using technology like budgeting apps or spreadsheets adds another layer of control and clarity. These tools help you see where your money is going, identify areas to cut back, and track the growth of your wealth. The 3% rely on these data-driven insights to make informed decisions, rather than acting on emotional impulses. Another crucial system is the practice of dollar-cost averaging, buying assets consistently, regardless of market fluctuations. This removes the stress of trying to time the market and turns investing into a calm, steady habit rather than a high-stakes gamble. Over the years, these small, regular investments compound and grow far beyond what sporadic, emotional decisions could ever achieve. I recall setting up my first automatic investments early in my career. I wasn't making much, but by automating the process, I enforced discipline and consistency when I had little of either. Years later, I was stunned to see how those modest, automatic contributions had grown into a significant nest egg. It all happened because I let systems do the heavy lifting. Relying solely on discipline is a losing game. It's unpredictable and it drains your mental energy. But systems work quietly in the background, day in and day out, building momentum until your success becomes almost inevitable. So, don't wait for a burst of motivation or willpower. Build systems that serve your goals. Automate your savings. Automate your investments. Automate your financial tracking. This is how the 3% build wealth, not by luck, but by design. The alchemy of habits. Your daily financial rituals wealth doesn't arrive overnight, nor is it the product of a single grand gesture. It's crafted in the quiet, consistent moments, the micro decisions we make day after day. The 3% understand this truth deeply, turning simple financial disciplines into powerful rituals that shape their destiny. They know that success isn't about a sudden windfall. It's about steady, deliberate actions repeated without fail. Think about it. How often do we dismiss small habits because they seem insignificant on their own? Yet, it's those small, almost invisible choices that create the foundation for lasting financial freedom. Reading just 10 pages of a financial book daily isn't about becoming an expert overnight. It's about cultivating a mindset of continuous growth and understanding. Knowledge compounds just like money, and each page turned is a step closer to mastery. Reviewing your financial goals every morning may seem trivial, but it sets the tone for your entire day. It reminds you of why you're working so hard and keeps your focus sharp. It's easy to get distracted by daily stresses, but this simple ritual grounds you in your purpose. Investing every payday, even if it's a small amount, is a powerful habit. It reinforces the principle of paying yourself first and keeps your money working for you consistently. Over time, these contributions grow exponentially thanks to the magic of compound interest. Remember, it's not the size of the initial investment that matters most, but the unwavering habit of investing regularly. Cutting one unnecessary expense each week is another subtle but impactful discipline. This isn't about deprivation, it's about conscious spending and deliberate prioritization. The 3% constantly evaluate where their money is going and redirect it from fleeting pleasures to long-term growth. I remember when I first started paying attention to these daily rituals. I wasn't rich, but I committed to learning, reviewing my goals, investing consistently, and trimming expenses. Those small steps seemed modest at first, but over the years they completely transformed my financial landscape. If you want to build wealth, don't wait for the perfect moment or a massive infusion of resources. Focus on what you can control, your daily habits. These simple disciplines, when practiced faithfully, become your financial rituals, the very building blocks of your success. Wealth is not an event. It's a process shaped by what you do every single day. The four-legged table. Building multiple streams of income. Financial independence isn't just a fancy phrase. It's the ability to live comfortably from the income your own efforts and resources generate. If you rely on just one paycheck, you're standing on one leg in a store. It's unstable and incredibly risky. The 3% know this truth intimately, which is why they build their financial houses on multiple pillars. Your job income alone will not carry you to lasting wealth. You need more than one source of cash flow. Imagine your financial life as a sturdy table with four legs. Your primary income from your job or main business. Investment income from stocks, real estate, etc. Business income from a side hustle or venture. Passive income from royalties, digital products, etc. The more strong and balanced those legs are, the steadier your financial future becomes. Relying on just one source is like putting all your eggs in one basket. And as we all know, baskets can break. You don't have to build all four legs at once. Begin where you are. Perhaps you can start by building a side hustle or simply learning about different types of investments. A side hustle isn't just a way to earn extra money. It's an education in entrepreneurship, discipline, and creativity. It teaches you how to create value independently of your job. Even small investments made consistently will grow and diversify your income streams over time. The beauty of multiple income streams is the resilience they provide. If one leg falters, say, due to a job loss or an economic downturn, your other income sources keep you stable. This freedom to withstand setbacks is what truly separates the 3% from the 97%. They don't depend on luck or a single paycheck. They build resilience. I remember the early days when I started developing other income streams beyond my main job. It wasn't easy. It took time, patience, and a lot of learning. But those efforts paid off by giving me a level of choice and security I had never known before. When one door closed, others were already open. If you want to control your future, don't put all your hope in one paycheck. Start building multiple streams of income, no matter how small they begin. It's not just about making more money. It's about creating a foundation strong enough to support the life you truly want to live. Wealth is freedom, and freedom comes from having many sources feeding your financial garden. The ultimate fortune. Feed your mind. Formal education might teach you how to earn a living, but it's self-education that will teach you how to make a fortune. The most significant difference between the 97% who stay broke and the 3% who build wealth isn't just in their bank accounts. It's in what they choose to feed their minds every single day. When I started my journey, I realized that if I wanted to change my financial future, I had to change my mental diet. Most people spend their free time on entertainment and distractions that keep their minds passive and unfocused. The wealthy, however, spend their time studying the game. They read books on money, listen to financial experts, and observe successful people with a sense of purpose and curiosity. Your mind is like fertile soil. If you plant weeds, thoughtless information, negativity, distractions, you will harvest struggle. But if you plant seeds of knowledge, time-tested principles, and effective strategies, you will harvest growth and abundance. It's not about having all the answers at once, but about committing to the daily habit of feeding your mind what it needs to grow. I remember dedicating just 10 minutes every day to reading a financial book or listening to a talk about wealth. It didn't feel like much at first, but over time, those small sessions transformed my thinking and, consequently, my actions. Soon, the principles I was learning became second nature, guiding every financial decision I made. The key is consistency. Don't wait until you have more time or money to study wealth. Make studying part of your daily routine. Choose to learn from those who have already walked the path you wish to travel. By doing this, you not only gain knowledge, but also adopt the mindset necessary to think and act like the wealthy. Wealth begins in the mind long before it ever appears in the bank. Feed your mind principles, not distractions, and watch how your financial life transforms. This is how you build a real fortune, not just by working harder, but by learning smarter every single day. From wish to reality. The power of a written goal. Dreams are beautiful, but dreams alone will not build wealth. What turns a dream into reality is a clear, written goal with a specific deadline. When I was starting out, I realized that without a target, my efforts were scattered like leaves in the wind. The moment I wrote down exactly what I wanted and by when, everything changed. Suddenly, every decision, every action had a purpose. The 3% don't just hope for wealth. They set specific financial goals that light a fire within them. This isn't vague, wishful thinking. It's about crystal clarity. How much money do you want to have saved in 1 year? What about in 5 years? And most importantly, why does it matter to you? When you connect your goals to deep, emotional reasons, whether it's freedom, family, or legacy, you find a source of motivation that keeps you moving forward, even when challenges arise. The secret that few truly understand is breaking those big goals into small, manageable steps. You don't climb a mountain in a single leap. You take it one step at a time. Focus on monthly, weekly, and even daily actions. Invest a little more this week. Learn something new about money today. Cut one unnecessary expense tomorrow. These daily habits build unstoppable momentum and keep your vision alive. Each morning, remind yourself of your goals, visualize them, feel the excitement of the success you're working toward. This simple habit sets the tone for your day, aligning your actions with your deepest purpose. The mind craves clarity. When you give it a clear direction, it will work tirelessly to get you there. Without clear goals and deadlines, your financial future will drift aimlessly. But with them, you turn intention into action, potential into progress, and hope into wealth. You'll be astonished at how much you can accomplish when your mind is focused and your heart is committed. Let clarity lead your steps and wealth will follow. The ripple effect. Teach, share, and stay accountable. Wealth isn't truly wealth until it's shared. When you keep your financial journey to yourself, you limit its power. The 3% understand that building wealth isn't just a personal victory, it's a legacy. Teaching others what you've learned magnifies your own success in ways that money alone never can. I remember when I first started talking openly about money with my family and friends. Not only did it help them, but it deepened my own commitment and understanding of the principles. Passing down financial wisdom to your children or mentoring someone who is eager to learn creates a ripple effect. It's like planting seeds that will grow into a forest, far beyond your own lifetime. When you make wealth a shared mission, it becomes more than just numbers. It becomes a culture, a value system that can shape generations. Accountability is a powerful force. When you share your goals with others, you create a network of support that keeps you honest and motivated. It's easy to let your discipline slip when you're going it alone. But when you're part of a community or have a mentor who believes in you, you're far more likely to stay on track. I've always found that the people who talk about their plans and open themselves to feedback move faster and further than those who try to do everything in secret. Wealth is not a secret to be hoarded, but a story to be told and a tool to empower. The 97% may focus on consumption and keeping things to themselves, but the 3% know that teaching, sharing, and accountability turn money into something far greater, a lasting legacy. So, Build your wealth, yes, but also build up the people around you. Teach what you learn. Share your struggles and your victories. Stay accountable to your goals and to those who believe in you. That is how you ensure your success isn't just a fleeting moment, but a movement that outlives you. The long game, the power of delayed gratification. Most people are trapped in the cycle of "I want it now." They live for the weekend, the quick purchase, the instant upgrade. This is precisely why 97% of people stay broke. They are living for immediate gratification. But the 3%, the ones who build lasting wealth, understand a simple, powerful truth. Wealth is a long game. It's about investing in time, not just in money. The rich learn to delay pleasure today so that tomorrow brings them freedom multiplied. When I was starting out, I knew that skipping the fancy car or the latest gadget wouldn't be easy. I had to choose between impressing others today or investing in my future self. I chose the latter. It wasn't glamorous, but it was smart. That $300 I saved from skipping a night out didn't just sit in my pocket. It went into stocks, into a business idea, into my own education. Over time, those dollars compounded. This is the incredible power of delayed gratification. Think of a farmer planting a seed. He doesn't get a harvest the next day. He waits for months, nurturing the soil, watering the crop, and tending to it patiently. But when the harvest finally comes, it is bountiful. Wealth is the same. When you postpone an immediate pleasure, you are planting a seed that will grow into the tree of freedom. You're not just saving money. You're investing in your future time and opportunity. Wealth. Builders don't waste their energy trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're too busy focused on their own future. Every dollar not spent on a fleeting pleasure is another soldier sent to work in your financial army. What you delay today can turn into your independence tomorrow. So, ask yourself this powerful question. What can I delay now that will set me free later? That is the mindset that separates the wealthy from the rest. Your turn to choose. If there's one truth I want you to leave with today, it's this. Wealth is not some secret treasure hidden away for a select few. It is the natural result of consistent habits, disciplined choices, and a mindset rooted in value and patience. The 97% stay stuck not because they lack opportunity or talent, but because they fundamentally misunderstand what wealth truly demands. They chase fleeting pleasures, ignore the power of delayed gratification, and allow their money to slip through their fingers without a plan. Meanwhile, the 3% are simply those who have decided to think differently. They pay themselves first. They track every dollar. They invest in themselves. And they build systems that work for them day and night. You have within you, right now, the power to shift your future by shifting your habits today. This isn't about quick wins or lottery tickets. It is about steady, purposeful action, day by day, choice by choice. When you start paying yourself first, when you set clear goals with deadlines, when you learn to delay gratification for a greater reward, you begin to rewrite your financial story. When you focus on serving others and solving real problems, you build not just an income, but a legacy. Now, I challenge you, don't just listen to these words. Don't just hope for a better future. Take action. Start tracking your money tonight. Set one financial goal with a deadline. Automate one savings transfer. Read one page of a book that teaches you about wealth. Teach someone else one thing you've learned. Create a financial ritual that moves you forward every single day. Remember, wealth is a journey, not a destination. It is earned by the patient, the disciplined, and the wise. So, decide today that you will be among the 3% who think differently, act boldly, and create a life of lasting freedom. The future you want is waiting on the other side of the choices you make right now. Make them count. Here is a highly SEO-optimized title, description, keywords and tags for the motivational YouTube video.